The Ukrainian parliamentary elections took place on July 21st, 2019. Today, the conclusion of my discussion with Eugene Czolij, the head of mission of the Ukrainian World Congress International Observation Mission to Ukraine's 2019 elections, about the elections process in Ukraine and the work of the Ukrainian World Congress. In our earlier interview, you mentioned that after the electoral process, you would be making recommendations to the Ukrainian administration. I'm just wondering if those recommendations have been heard, how they were accepted. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
After the presidential elections, actually when I was in Ukraine for the parliamentary elections, I started off with a press conference where we issued the final report. We have communicated that to the administration of the President of Ukraine, and they were particularly interested with our recommendations as to how to address the countering of Russian disinformation. On that count, we have made several recommendations, including for the Ukrainian authorities to create a commission in order to coordinate the various efforts to counter Russian disinformation, to establish a strategic program or plan of action as to how to counter Russian disinformation, to engage Ukrainian World Congress in establishing a permanent monitoring group, such as we had during the presidential and parliamentary election, that would continue to monitor in various parts of the world how Ukraine is being portrayed, both in traditional and in social media. We have recommended that Ukrainian authorities partner with other democratic countries in order to address this issue, and we have recommended that the issue of disinformation be addressed in school curricula. So there's various aspects that we have addressed. The Ukrainian authorities have taken our final reports and have indicated to me that they will be analyzing them and responding to us once they complete their analysis of our recommendations. We will also be doing a second set of recommendations in our final report after the parliamentary elections. That should be coming sometime at the beginning of September. And one of the issues I've indicated to you, the recommendations regarding media monitoring. I think perhaps the most important recommendation that we have made from our short-term observation is for the Ukrainian authorities to be working with the Ukrainian World Congress in order to ensure that we facilitate how Ukrainians living outside of Ukraine during an election can exercise their democratic right to vote. And in view of the fact that during these elections we have seen that some had to travel tremendous distances in various countries, we've recommended that one examine the possibility of either opening additional points where people would be able to vote, to look at the possibility of voting by mail and voting via electronic devices. Perhaps the last one is not yet, probably at this time, not the best means to address this issue in view of the fact that Ukraine is currently the object of various aggressions from the Russian Federation, including cyber attacks that will obviously be targeting such a form of voting.
Now, you mentioned that there would be a group established. Would it be under a particular ministry or just sort of freelance?
What we have recommended is that the Ukrainian authorities set up a commission where one would set up to address a major issue on any particular topic that would involve authorities, experts, and the Ukrainian World Congress in order to encompass all the major stakeholders on this issue.
And who would they report to? The parliament?
We have not, at this stage, recommended who they should be reporting or not. We have recommended that we look at these issues and then with the Ukrainian authorities establish such a commission and then obviously establish the parameters regarding such commission.
What is the former President's Council of the Ukrainian World Congress? What is the scope of its activities and what is its mandate?
The former president's is a creation that this board of directors has adopted following a recommendation of our last Congress. It essentially is a committee of all the former presidents of the Ukrainian World Congress that meet the current president of the Ukrainian World Congress and discuss issues that are of interest or importance to the Ukrainian World Congress and issues that the current president would want to address and seek advice from the former presidents.
Are there any issues that you can discuss that are particularly pressing?
I think that we had one face-to-face meeting so far, and during that meeting, the most important issues were the new president and his team started to work only since November of 2018. This first meeting was basically to discuss various outstanding issues, how to address them, including the parliamentary elections, including the issue with the church, the Thomas Apostle that was granted to the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and how can the Ukrainian World Congress continue on this course, both for the Ukrainian Orthodox Church and the Ukrainian Catholic Church. So we have addressed various issues, how to continue supporting Ukraine, particularly regarding Ukraine's continued movement towards the European Union, with the ultimate goal being for Ukraine to become one of the EU member states. Same thing, how to continue Ukraine's Euro-Atlantic integration with the aim of Ukraine becoming one of the NATO states. Those are some of the issues that we have addressed during that meeting.
And members of this council, yourself and
Jurij is the most senior member after Oscar Blazinski, then myself and the current president, Paul Grad.
Well, it was lovely to speak with you. Maybe we'll speak again later.
Yes, I'll even take away the word maybe, and we'll certainly speak together again.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm Tania Stech, and this was Ukraine in the News.
Канал 1+1 тепер доступний на Bell International Programming.